Whoa, whoa, welcome to the EEOOC. Well, welcome, bitch.
What you say?
I told you that it's time to start the show.
That you only meant well.
Yeah, the show's gonna do
Of
well.
course you did. What you say?
I said let's go.
That it's all for the best.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like the best podcast.
What you say?
God, do I have to keep repeating myself?
Just what we need. You decided this.
Hold up, I
What
thought we
you
both
say?
decided to do this.
What did she say?
I said let's start the show.
Hey, everyone, welcome to What You Say, an OC podcast. My name is Elise Daly,
And I'm Scott Daly.
and together, we're the Dailies.
Yes, this is the podcast where each and every week we grab our backstage passes and head backstage to discuss the hit 2000s teen drama, The OC. This week, it's Season 1, Episode 15, The Third Wheel.
But before we get into that episode and everyone's favorite section, I want to ask you, Scott, have you ever had a backstage pass?
Have I ever had a backstage pass?
Yeah, to any concert?
No,
you
I
ever
have
had
not.
one? I haven't either.
Never had a backstage pass.
I haven't either. That would be really fun to have.
It would be really fun. Imagine, I don't know. I'm just throwing
Justin
a band
Timberlake.
out there. Coldplay.
I don't think I'd know what to say. I think I'd be speechless.
You would embarrass yourself.
I
think
would.
I think it's good that you've never had a backstage pass.
What?
Because you I think there are people that can be around celebrities,
Uh-huh.
and I think there are people that should never be around celebrities. And when I think about you, my love, you fall in to that second bucket.
But I think that they would love me. Everyone just would love me so much, don't you think?
I don't.
You just gotta treat them like normal people, Scott. That's the key. You just gotta treat them like normal people.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're capable of doing that.
I
think
think
you would be.
We would
weird
never
as
know
hell.
until we try.
All right, I'll call up
Chris Martin, Guy Berryman.
I was gonna call him Mr. Coldplay because I didn't remember who he was. But
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll make it happen. And
Okay.
we're still waiting to hear back from Kristen Bell about guesting on the.
Yeah,
the
what
podcast.
about that?
Yeah.
Okay, Scott. Well, it's time for the Rosies and Thorny show.
Every rose has its thorn,
Has its thorn.
just like every night has its dawn.
Dawn, dawn, dawn.
Every cowboy sings a sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yeah. Jesus.
Okay, Scott, this is the part of the podcast where you and I look back on the week and we talk about the good, the bad, the rosies, and the thornies. And as always, Scott, we start with the bad. But I think in order for you... No, okay. You're going to start with your bad.
I'm going to start with my bad.
You're going to start with your bad. I was going to say I should start with mine and then you should build off of it, but no, you changed it. So you're going to start with the bad.
Yeah, I want to talk about my dog.
Okay, talk about her. Which one?
Ghost, the old one, the one that should know better. So, we had quite a week with Ghost. What day was it that you almost lost her forever?
Oh, yeah. What day was that? Tuesday?
I think it might have been Tuesday because we took her collar off.
Yeah,
so
no, it was Tuesday because I had my principal's meeting on Wednesday and I told Jennifer then.
So we took Ghost's Ghost. The dogs are in the room with us when we record because of the little one cannot be left alone for longer than 30 seconds or she'll just destroy things. In fact, she knocked over the trash can while we were recording. You might hear
And
that.
she found a tissue from somewhere. I don't know where.
You might hear that. You might not. But the point is, we have the dogs in the room here, but their collars make a lot of noise when they're walking around. So we take their collars off while we're recording. And sometimes we forget to put them back on.
Scott,
And then
your responsibility.
Elise lets the dog out into the backyard without checking that the back gate is
Okay,
closed.
let me say that I saw that the yard had been mowed because when I got home, the person that's our next door neighbor, someone was going to their backyard to mow. So I had looked and I saw that our gate was open. So the first thing I did before I even went inside was I shut the gate.
Right.
And then as I had Penny, I walked into the yard and I really made sure that it was shut.
Clearly not enough. Clearly not enough, Elise. The gate sticks.
Do continue, please.
So the gate was open. Ghost ran outside without her collar on. Ghost is not a dog that is microchipped, although we should do that for Penny.
We should do it for both of them.
Nah, Ghost is old. She's not even microchipped. The point is,
I almost lost the dog.
I got a fun call. It was like, well, I lost the dog.
So and Penny had come in because I was working on the computer in the office, and she was crying, and she came in twice because she was crying, and I was finally thinking, well, what are you crying about? So I went out, and she was crying because Ghost had left.
Yeah, and some mailman sprayed Ghost on the face with some orange stuff.
Yeah, it was awful. Okay, but that's not the real thing, Scott.
Well, I'm
What's
mad
the
about
real
that,
thorn?
so that's a thorn. But my real thorn is yesterday, this asshole dog. So Ghost and Penny had been behaving beautifully around each other. Ghost is like one of the gentlest, sweetest dogs. There is one thing in the world that would set Ghost off, though, and we forgot about this. Ghost, when she gets like
a bone.
Is it rawhide?
Any bone.
Any kind of bone treat that is not immediately consumed but needs to be like chewed on for a while. Ghost gets like weirdly, insanely possessive over those things. And Ghost, we got her one of those yesterday, and Penny went to just say hi to Ghost, and Ghost snapped at our little puppy dog, and then when I yelled at her, she snapped at me too, because she thought I was trying to take her bone.
I mean, like, she snapped.
Yeah, it was bad, and we were very, very mad at her. She got in big, big trouble, and she was being just a jerk for the rest of the day. She's just a jerk. And now she's over here, like, she knows I'm talking about her. She's trying to get sympathy because she knows I'm bad-mouthing her on the internet. But you know what, Ghost? You did a bad, and you got punished for it.
Man, you were mad.
I was mad. You do not snap at a little puppy dog, and you do not snap at me. I'm your pack leader.
I think that was the worst part, was that she had snapped at you when you tried to take it. And that's when you really lost it.
Yep. So,
okay.
This stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my thorn. What's yours?
So I am so thankful that I have an entire week off for Thanksgiving break. So one thing
you're gonna butt this. You have a whole week off.
Listen
and you're
to
about
me.
To butt.
Listen to me. One thing that you have to know about me is that I refuse to decorate for Christmas or listen to any Christmas music before Thanksgiving. I'm one of those people.
It's the rules.
Okay, it is the rules. And I'm glad that I married someone who believes in the same rule as I do.
Law.
Except here's the problem.
What's the problem?
We normally decorate for Christmas the weekend after Thanksgiving.
True.
And this year, we have an extremely busy schedule for this week of Thanksgiving.
True.
So busy that I don't think we're going to have time to actually decorate the weekend after Christmas with everything that we normally do. And if you can't decorate then it just ends up you're not able to find whenever you're supposed to decorate. And then the time runs away from you and you might as well not decorate. And so what we've had to do, Scott, is start decorating before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you took out the box today.
I took out the box.
It's a Sunday.
The stockings are hung by the chimney with care.
It's a Sunday afternoon. We're recording this episode. Beautiful Sunday. We had a great breakfast in the morning. It was great.
You're welcome.
You made banana bread. Oh, and then you go into the guest room and I see you come walking out. And what do you got? You got a box that says Xmas on it. And I look at the date and I'm saying, oh, it's so weird.
I told you we were going to do this, Scott.
I didn't know Thanksgiving already happened.
Well, that's what happens when you stay locked in your office.
The door was open. I wasn't locked in my office.
You just hole yourself away in here.
I was doing
Never to come out and play with us.
Oh, my God. Stop it.
What?
I was doing my rows.
Yeah.
I was playing the new Star Wars video game.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and elaborate on that, Scott.
So my rose is Star Wars, just in general, because I wanted to talk about The Mandalorian, and I wanted to talk about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and I wanted to talk about the fact that there's 4K versions of all the Star Wars movies on Disney Plus, and I want to talk about the final...
McClunkin. Right? Isn't that what it is?
McClunky.
McClunky.
I wanted to talk about how the final Skywalker saga episode is coming out in less than a month.
Yeah.
So I just lumped it all together and said my rose is Star Wars. It's fun being a person that likes Star Wars right now. And look, I'm not the crazy Star Wars fan that a lot of people are. I don't collect the toys. I've never read any of the expanded universe stuff. I like the movies and I like the games and I like this Mandalorian show a whole lot. And that's it. And I'm very happy with the state of Star Wars right now.
Do you think he'll take his helmet off before the end of the show?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Do you think Yoda will lift it off?
You don't hire
Pablo.
Wait.
I think it's Pablo.
Isn't it
Pablo
Pascal?
or Pedro? Maybe it's Pedro.
You don't hire him and have him not take that helmet off. He's got too good looking
Yeah.
of a face to hide it behind that helmet.
That's true.
But I mean,
Who is the girl?
who's the girl? I don't know.
Her voice sounded very
It's
familiar.
funny how you said the girl because there's only one woman in this entire show, and her head's behind a helmet. So all you do have to say is the girl.
I think that Yoda's a girl. Baby Yoda.
I mean, it's a baby.
I mean, the only way for something to be that powerful when it's that small is for it to be a woman.
Okay.
What?
I'm sorry I laughed at that. That was very
Yeah.
mean. I laughed at you for saying it. I wasn't laughing at the idea.
No, you're laughing at the idea,
No,
aren't you?
I was not laughing at the idea. I
Okay.
was laughing at you for actually saying
Sure.
the idea. So yeah, Star Wars, Mandalorian, Disney Plus.
Wonderful.
There we
Glad
go.
you like it.
Sponsored by Disney Plus. Give
Glad
me
you like
money, Mr. Disney.
Yes, and so the reason that Scott decided to say that the backstage passes were for the Coldplay show was because, number one of my all-time favorite, if not all-time favorite bands, is Coldplay. Number two, that is my rose for this week. Coldplay has come out with a new album, their newest album in 4 years, so it has been quite some time. And this album, it is wonderful. It is...
Okay, but...
It's beautiful, but it's
Hold
also sad, and
Hold
it's
on.
very angry.
Was there ever a chance that you were not going to like a Coldplay album?
Yes, there's an album that I didn't really like.
Don't believe you. Which one?
Viva La Vida I didn't like a lot at first. The more I listen to it, there are a couple that I like, but Viva La Vida is not my favorite. And I really didn't like the Ghost Dreams album a whole lot either. I kind of try and push that one out of my memory that one came out. I like Viva La Vida more than I liked that one.
You lost me. I don't know any of these things. I don't... Coldplay?
This one is so sad, Scott, because I was trying to talk to you about it. I don't think that you understand it until you actually listen to the songs. But the album is called Everyday Life. And then each song that is taking place, and you think about the subject matter and about the lyrics, and it's just sad that is what everyday life is like now these days. So great. Wonderful job, Chris Martin.
I'm happy for you. I'm very happy that you have a band that you like so much. I'm very happy that band has come out with an album you like very much. I'm very, very happy for
I'm very
you.
glad you're going to take me to the concert.
I was not aware of that. When is that?
I don't know. They haven't announced the tour yet, but as soon as they come to Dallas, I know you're going to take me again. So I appreciate that.
We just saw Coldplay. We just saw
Scott,
them.
I really appreciate that you love me so much that every time that my favorite band comes in town, you're going to take me because you know that that's how much it means to me, that I don't want to miss the last time that they come to Dallas.
All right. You know who my favorite band is? Rooney.
No, it's not, but that's okay because Rooney is in the OC, and what you're going to come to find, can I spoil something about just music? It doesn't have anything to do with the plot.
Sure.
So the OC actually has quite a few bands that come in and they play, like the concert series. There's a place later that is a place of work for a few of the characters, and the bands come in there a lot. And so this is one of the shows that I feel like started the whole trend of let's have an actual band come in and be a part of the show.
I don't know if
sort
it
of
started
thing.
that. I felt like a lot of teen shows did that.
Before this one?
I think so.
Like what?
I don't know. I feel like Buffy did it on a few.
Did they?
You know what's really funny?
What?
I don't remember when Smallville came out. I think it was about the same time. But the season finale of season 1 of Smallville has the band that does Smallville's opening music playing the spring formal.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because like they're playing the song that is the opening credits song, and then one of the characters, the band is called Remy Zero, and one of the characters, like as they're finishing up the band, just goes Remy Zero. And it's just like, was this the deal you cut with the band?
It probably was. Yeah.
Does the people who do the OC theme
Phantom
song,
Planet? No.
do they ever come on?
Not that I know of.
Bummer.
I know.
I'm pissed. Anyway,
It's a
let's
bummer.
talk about episode 15.
Okay, so episode 15 is called The Third Wheel. This is the 15th episode of season 1 of the OC. It was written by Melissa Rosenberg, who previously wrote 2 episodes this season, and it was directed by Sandy Smolin, who will go on to direct 1 more episode this series. It originally aired on January 7th, 2004. This is our first
New
2004 episode.
It is our first 2004 episode, and along with the new year, we have a new opening credits, which list Rachel Bilson as a main character on the show. No longer a special guest star.
Truth.
She is now, so they I guess at the mid-season break, they were like, yep, we like We like this. It's working. We're going to pick her up for more episodes, and she has become a series regular. Luke was always on the opening credits, right?
Yes, he was.
Okay. He's still on there. Who else? I feel like something else changed on the opening credits, and I can't remember. Was Julie Cooper always on them? Because she's on them now.
I don't
think she
so.
was always on them. Because
No.
she's on there now, too. So some changes
Despite
going into
not
the new
being
year.
in this episode
Yeah,
at
despite
all.
being 2 episodes. All right. Here is the summary from the OC Wiki.
Oh, this is from IMDb.
What?
This is from IMDb.
What happened to the OC Wiki?
I don't know. I always pull them from IMDb because I thought you told me that was the same thing as the OC Wiki. They took them from there. Maybe that's why last week's was better. So this is the summary from the OC on IMDb.
Haley discovers that she isn't welcome into the Cohen household as much as she thought, due to her continuing irresponsible and brash lifestyle and personality leading to a fight with Kirsten and Sandy over her living arrangements. No, you're right. It's the same one. I can tell just by that sentence. Meanwhile, Oliver continues to charm Marissa and throws his weight around by inviting her, Ryan, Seth, Summer, Anna, and Luke to a rock concert where the band Rooney is playing. There, Luke makes some new friends with the band fans, while Seth and Anna debate on telling Summer about their newfound romantic status. But trouble brews for Ryan when he becomes suspicious on Oliver's well-being and catches him in a compromising position involving a suspected drug dealer in the parking lot.
Okay, Scott, before we get into the beat by beat and how awful that summary is, my overall thought for this week. Okay. Luke. Can we just talk about Luke for a second?
What have they done to Luke?
So there are a bunch of characters that go through some changes throughout this entire series.
Changes.
And we have already seen Summer's dramatic shift. And this week we get to see Luke's. And let me just say, I adore Luke.
Luke has become a comedic foil. He is the comedic relief character in the show.
Yes.
He is a completely different character now. And you know what?
You like it.
I'm here to say, OC fan and expert Scott Daly, I like it. It's better.
You know what I like about Luke is
What?
we get to see the other side of bros. This is Scott, the side that the bros don't show, but it's the true thing.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors. This is what the water polo team does.
They act.
They all have these sorts of, different things that make them unique people. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I love it. I'm here for it.
So that's, I mean, the most important event that happens in this episode
Is Luke.
is the reframing of Luke.
Yeah.
All right,
it's my
let's
favorite
get
part.
Right into the, other than that, what did you think of this episode?
Other than that, it's fine.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty middling episode.
Yeah.
We just kind of push all the plots forward just a little bit.
Yeah. And it's, another reason why I hate Oliver. Just some more of his shady, creepy stuff.
I mean, he finally actually does something shady and creepy.
Yeah. Real creepy, Scott. So creepy, you said it was creepy.
Mm-hmm. But
Ghost agrees with it being creepy.
Our dogs are now playing with each other in the middle
Which
of
is
the
great
recording.
because it means that they have forgiven each other and they love each other.
Yeah, but it's really
and it's
loud
wonderful.
and really distracting.
Okay, well, Scott, let's just go ahead and we're going to talk about this episode.
All right. So we cold open on Haley sitting in the kitchen, listening to her iPod, eating a bagel, drinking the orange juice, and in a nice fancy robe. And then we have each member of the Cohen family walk into the house one at a time. Sandy walks in, gets to get a bagel.
But he doesn't have a bagel.
Where's my bagel? Ryan walks in, just gonna get some of that morning juice. No juice left.
Well, there's just a little bit of juice, not enough for a full glass.
Seth walks in, wants the arts and leisure section of the newspaper, because apparently teenagers in 2004 read
the best
arts
section,
and
Scott.
leisure section of the newspaper before school. Can't have it. Kirsten walks in, and she's shivering. She's cold, even though
Where's
they
her
live
robe?
in Southern California.
California can be cold.
Southern California?
It can still be cold.
No.
Scott.
But her robe is being worn by her sister. So
Everyone is mad.
everyone's pissed.
Everyone is mad.
Is she listening to a Rooney song on the iPod?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But she's listening to an iPod. I can only imagine that to be Seth's iPod.
Probably.
Yeah, because she wouldn't have one. She'd just be taking it from someone else.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't own her own iPod.
No.
So I think you're right.
Yeah.
So everyone's mad, and this is like a beautiful opening frame shot where like you see her in the foreground and the four of them in the background, and they're all just like standing, looking at her, pissed off. Sandy, in particular, is very, very upset. Why is Sandy so upset?
Because now he's going to have to survive off of English muffins, and everybody knows that bagels are better than English muffins.
Elise prepped me for this. The Coens are not fucking around when it comes to their bagels.
No, they love bagels.
They love their bagels, and they eat them all hours of the day.
They do.
Anytime you want a bagel, they're going to eat a bagel.
Yeah. And so the fact that Haley took all the bagels just sends Sandy into a tizzy. So one thing that they also highlight upon in this morning time is that Seth and Ryan have not had a lot of Seth and Ryan time.
No bro time.
Now, why would they not have a lot of bro time, Scott?
Well, because Ryan is dating some girl named Marissa Cooper. Ugh. And Seth has been juggling two women for months and months and months. But they haven't had any bro time, and they need the bro time because Ryan needs some advice.
Seth needs some advice.
But
really, Ryan needs some advice, too.
They both need some advice. What is the advice that Seth needs?
So Seth and Anna have decided that they are going to be dating. And so Seth needs to know how to tell Summer about Anna.
They have not told Summer about Anna yet.
Yeah.
And they decided they need to tell Summer.
They're about to get to the conversation where Ryan's going to be able to offer some brotherly advice to Seth, and then enter Marissa. Marissa Cooper, always holding Ryan back.
The old ball and chain.
Yep. California, here we come. Enter Marissa and Ryan in school. And they have now started to wonder if they've become one of those couples who can't do anything without each other, and they lose all their friends. So they're talking about it, thinking about how they need to take some space away from each other in order to work on themselves and not have to be around each other all the time. And they both think that that's a good idea. And then Marissa says she needs Ryan to walk her to class.
And so they do that. Hooray. And they don't. The interesting thing about this episode is, like, you would figure when they set up the main plot of their part of the relationship being, hey, they're spending too much time together. They're like, I guess that is the end of the show, is when they choose to go back and hang out with their friends instead of just make out alone in the pool house. I guess that is the show acknowledging that, hey, we should stop hanging out just the two of us, right? I mean, that's what that's supposed to be, I think, but
yeah,
it's very indirect.
It's true. And, you know, one thing, Scott, that's a fact. I don't know if you knew this fact, that every time you get into a relationship, you really do lose some of your friends. It's a scientifically proven fact. I forget how many it is, but they really say that you lose some friends.
You can't say it's a scientifically proven fact.
It
Do
is.
You know it's a scientifically proven fact?
I read it on my Uber Facts one time, and then I've forgotten it as I tried to recall. But I know that it's a fact.
I mean, it is true.
It's either 5 or 7 people.
It is true that your things shift, right? Like, your whole thing shifts. The people you hang out with change.
Yeah.
Because you're spending, especially at the beginning of a relationship, you spend a lot of time with the person.
It's true.
And you have to find some equilibrium. So I think this episode is, one of the plots of this episode is finding that balance, finding that equilibrium.
Yeah.
I don't think it does that enough. I don't think the episode is enough focused on that. If that's supposed to be our A plot, I don't think it's enough in this episode. That would be my critique.
I would agree with that. Okay. So enough about Marissa and Ryan.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to Seth and Anna.
Yeah.
Because they're studying in the library, and Summer walks in.
Uh-oh.
And she wants to hang out with Anna this weekend. And so she's asking Anna what she's doing. What is Anna doing?
Just nothing. They're doing nothing. Neither of them doing anything, doing nothing together. Nothing at all.
They're not doing anything together, but they want to be doing something together, and they just have not told Summer about it yet.
Yeah, and so this is, once again, a plot about communication. There are 2 plots going on here. Ryan is trying to convince Seth and he needs to talk to Summer. Sandy is trying to convince Kirsten that she needs to talk to her sister, right? So this is an echoing throughout the plots of this. But we've kind of already done this you need to communicate better idea.
Yes, we have.
But we're doing it again.
Yeah. So 2 people that are friends with each other and surprisingly friends with each other are Jimmy and Sandy. So
Yeah, they just hang out.
They just do. And
like he's not giving him every time before it was like on the pretense of legal advice, he was offering him advice.
Yeah.
He's representing him. He's trying to help him out because of what. And now they're just chilling.
After he kissed his wife.
He's helping him with his resume.
Yeah, I just don't get it, Scott. I just don't see how they would be friends. Other than just for the plot of the show.
I do like that the Jimmy Cooper tries to find a job plot is just slowly rolling along in the background.
Yeah. I mean, he's got money from something, I guess. So as they're talking, Enter walks. Enter walks. Enter Haley, the other person who's living in the household, not doing anything with a job.
Fortunately, wearing clothes this time.
Yes, but I don't think Jimmy would care otherwise. I mean, he's babysat her when she was little, so who's to say he hasn't already seen her naked?
Okay, gross. Very gross.
What?
Very gross.
I'm just saying.
Why would he see her naked?
I don't know. Maybe he had to give her a bath.
What?
I don't know.
I don't understand why you went there.
I don't know why I did either. Okay, so she walks in. You take it over, Scott.
Yeah, let's get away from this. They are very
friendly
with each other. Very, very friendly.
Yeah.
And they agree to hang out. Or did I jump ahead? Did they agree to hang out after this one?
They were like, hey, we should spend time together.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
We're both losers who have no jobs, no friends, and no prospects. So let's
You did kind of skip a little bit, but that's fine because they walk outside and they're bonding about how they're both complicated and that yes, he did babysit her and that you're right. Mm-hmm. They think they should hang out.
So they're gonna do it.
Sure.
Gonna go on a date.
Yep.
Ooh.
And enter Kirsten as well because Haley and Kirsten were at the grocery store. And so they came back and Kirsten's unloading all of the groceries. Sandy says that you need to have this conversation with Haley because she keeps mooching off of us and Sandy is not happy. So Kirsten tosses him the bagels in order to make him happy. So Sandy is temporarily happy because he has bagels and bagels fix everything.
Bagels do fix everything?
So why do we not have any bagels at our house?
I don't understand why we don't always have bagels and cream cheese.
I don't either.
Like it's a staple of our household that we should just have.
Well, Scott, that's your fault. I don't know. Why did you not get me any bagels? I told you, every time I watch the show, I always want bagels.
You know what we need? We need one of those bagel guillotines. We need one of those. We need them.
Or we just buy the pre-cut bagels.
Here's another thing I noticed as Kirsten is unloading the groceries.
Yeah.
Kirsten has purchased two bundles of bananas.
She wants to make that banana bread.
And I hope so, because the bananas she removes from this bag, these two bundles that she's bought, are brown.
They already overripe?
Yeah. They're
I did not pay attention to that, but
like to the point where like they're still probably fine, right? But if you're going to buy two bundles of it, you're probably going to have bananas around for like the whole week, right?
You know, it would be nice.
So by the end of that week, those bananas are going to be mush.
Why at the grocery store do they never keep the bananas that are overripe for people to buy in order to make banana bread?
Banana bread bananas?
Yeah, because I hate having to buy the bananas and then waiting for them to go ripe, worrying, is Scott going to eat the other banana so that then I'm not going to have enough bananas to make the banana bread?
Why don't you just tell me?
Or should I just be able to go and buy the bananas that are already ripe? That way I don't have to wait however long it takes for the bananas to overripen.
I don't know the answer to that question other than they probably do.
Do you think there are places that sell overripe bananas just for banana bread?
No, I think there's probably like health laws and stuff that they're required to toss them out. I mean, it just doesn't look good on the shelf too. It looks gross.
But if you say bananas for banana bread.
Banana bread bananas.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think people would buy it.
I think you would buy it. I'm not sure who. Why would you? I don't know. Like, I don't know why you would do that. Why would you not just get normal bananas?
Because I'm impatient. I don't want to wait for them to ripen.
So, I mean...
I want to be able to make banana bread when I want banana bread.
Does banana bread bananas... I can't believe we're still talking about this. Do banana bread bananas have to be overripe?
Yes.
They can't just be ripe.
Right. The riper the banana, the sweeter the bread.
Okay. Why can't you just, like, wait a day? Like, I feel like if you get bananas that are about to turn and you wait one day, we're going to have to move on.
Scott.
Let's talk about the OC.
Okay, let's talk about the OC because they did not make banana bread.
No. We moved to school, though.
Yeah, we have my favorite character again.
And Luke is at school. He's got a flat tire. someone at school has slashed his tire.
Jerks.
Because his father is gay or something, I guess, because they're terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what this is doing is like is pushing Luke to the outside, right? The reason why Luke is going to become part of this gang now is because he has been rejected from the in group and
true.
is now part of the out group. And apparently, as part of the out group, Luke can just be goofy as hell.
Even though the out group has two people that are really on the in group in it. I mean, Marissa and Summer are in the out group. So is it really an out group or is it an outer inner group?
I think Marissa's in the out group now.
Okay.
I think Marissa's her drunken escapades and stuff, and her dating of Ryan has pushed her to the out group.
Okay.
You make a very good point with Summer, though, because the show has not done a sufficient job of explaining to us why Summer suddenly doesn't care, doesn't seem to have any friends but Seth and Anna. It is very interesting.
Marissa is her friend.
Yeah, but they barely hang out, I feel like. I feel like she's more interested in what's going on with Anna than she is anyone else.
Well, that's because she really likes Seth.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes, you've cracked it. But
yes.
Anyway, basically Ryan and Luke bond over their New Year's resolution to punch people less.
Yeah,
let's
great resolution, guys.
Let's see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
And then he invites Luke over to his house because he feels bad for him. And Luke comes over and immediately starts playing PlayStation. And Seth is not happy because it's supposed to be Seth Ryan time.
It's supposed to be Seth and Ryan time, and there has not been enough Seth and Ryan time lately. And
Seth,
now
Ryan,
Luke is
Luke
there.
Time, and Luke is being hilarious. He's playing Madden on his PS2 very aggressively. Mm-hmm. And
like any good bro would do.
And being so nice to Seth, though. Like, he's not being... Like, remember at the beginning of the show when Luke was, like, really nasty to Seth?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And now he's just like, oh, Cohen, look.
Everyone is changing. Yeah. So Luke is crashing Seth and Ryan time, but someone else is crashing Seth and Ryan time because Marissa decides to call Ryan and let Ryan know that that she is hanging out with Oliver, and Oliver is ordering Moroccan food. And she wants to have Ryan and the boys all come over to eat Moroccan food with them in the penthouse of the Four Seasons.
Yeah. So my first theory about how this wasn't really his party and he's not really living there appears to be busted.
Okay.
But I still don't trust this fucking
Because he
guy.
does live there. We find out that his parents are not there because they're going to be gone a long time. They're in Paris opening up a new hotel there. And this is the point where even though Ryan has started to fit in more with the people that are his friends, he's still made very much an outsider in this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
By Oliver.
By Oliver specifically.
Yes.
And you asked me... We had one of our listeners last week say, you guys aren't really being fair to Oliver. He hasn't actually done anything wrong yet. Well, Exhibit A. The Louvre sucks. Here's the other places we could go to. The Mona Lisa is the size of a postage stamp. Fuck you, Oliver. First of all, the Louvre is one of the biggest fucking art museums in the world. There are thousands of paintings there, not just the Mona Lisa. Fuck you, Oliver.
He probably doesn't like the Grand Canyon either.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's Moroccan food. You eat it with your hands. And then he's like really, really going out of his way to make Ryan, like anytime Ryan gets anything wrong about where he says like they're talking about, I forget what it was, what food. And he says, yeah, it's great. And Oliver's like, no, that's the couscous.
The couscous. The classic couscous move.
Classic
couscous.
Yeah. So Oliver, I mean, they ordered a lot of food.
Yeah.
And we don't get to see Oliver's reaction to Marissa inviting everyone else over, right? Like, I would assume, based on what we see of this character later in this story, that he's not exactly happy that everyone else is coming over, right? I don't know, like, maybe he just wants these people as friends, and I guess you could argue that he wants all these people
he's lonely
except for Ryan
because he wants
of Marissa.
Yeah,
he would love to be friends with each and every one of these people, and that's why he's buying their friendship. Like we see in the scene, he basically says, "The Rooney, the band is playing tomorrow. Tickets are sold out. I have backstage passes.
Or I could get him. Just call the manager.
I'll just call the manager because
Yeah.
I can call the manager.
Yeah.
Me. Because I'm Oliver and I have all the money in the 4 seasons. Paris, France.
But wouldn't you like to have a friend like that?
And oh yes, but I mean, and that's where he's like when he goes to Ryan and goes, "You ever been to Paris, Ryan?" And this is an assumption. Maybe it's not a fair assumption, but this is an assumption that that Marissa has told Oliver about Ryan, about where Ryan comes from, about where, about like his past. So
heavy bonding time.
there's no way in hell that Oliver doesn't know that Ryan has never been to Paris. And then they're talking about going snowboarding in Whistler, and it's just it's like the most fucking privileged elite conversation ever.
Yeah.
And Ryan's just like.
He's upset about it. Mm-hmm. But they are going to get, supposedly, tickets to go see the Rooney show, even though it's sold out because Oliver has strings he can pull.
Oliver and Company.
So, cut to next day, and Seth is seeking help from Ryan again over the same situation, over breakfast this time, on how to tell Summer about Anna. He's thinking, I could do it over the phone. You know, like I could call, I could text, I could do carrier pigeon because Summer really likes pigeons. And so that would be a really good way to tell her. Basically,
Summer really
that's
like
what he
pigeons?
said. That's what he said. And so basically, he wants to be able to tell her in any way where he doesn't have to be face to face with her because he knows that if he does, he's going to get hit.
Yep.
Summer's very strong.
Summer's very strong, and she does have those rage blackouts. Those have been established.
And so Ryan feels that Seth is a coward. And so Haley walks in.
Point.
Yes.
Seth is a coward.
Seth is a coward.
Cowardly and immature.
But you know who also is a coward?
Who?
Ryan.
True.
And Haley points that out because Haley is shocked to find out that Oliver is still hanging out with Marissa and all of the other ones, even though Oliver is the one that tried to kiss Marissa on New Year's. And what is Ryan doing letting that happen?
Well, that's weird. Here's my problem with this.
Okay, what's your problem?
First of all, men and women can be friends.
Okay.
Obviously, right? I think in any other real life example, Ryan would be the ridiculous one here. Okay. Because he's jealous. Marissa has stated over and over again, we're just friends, and Ryan is nothing but jealous. But this is a television show, so of course his jealousy and his concern is going to be completely founded. I think we find that out later. Oliver is trying to get with Marissa. Yeah. That becomes very, very clear in this episode. That's what he's trying for. And it's almost as if the show is saying, yes, do not trust your significant other with their male friends because it will turn into this. And I think that's one of the bummer things about these teen dramas sometimes, that we can't have lessons like, actually, no, you're wrong to doubt any of this.
Yeah. So, Sandy and Kirsten are excited because tonight they're going to have the house to themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Haley is going to go and hang out with Jimmy.
They're going to
And all of the kids are going to go to the concert. So they're really looking forward to it because they just need some alone time, some good quality adult alone time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some other people who are getting alone time before the concert is Ryan and Marissa.
They're doing that thing that people do where before you go to the concert to see the band play, you have to listen to their entire album. Even though you're going to hear it in person anyway.
But you're getting excited about it. I totally understand it.
I mean, look, I do it too.
Yeah.
I do it too.
Yeah.
But I've always,
nothing wrong with it.
I've always in the back of my mind gone like, why am I doing this? Like, I will literally, as I am driving to a concert, I will be playing the music of the band I'm about to see on my radio.
Yeah.
And I've always been
nothing
like,
wrong. You're just excited. You want to make sure that you're prepping yourself to hear all the good songs. And so you can make yourself upset before when they don't play the song that you really wanted them to play, but it's okay because you still heard it because it was on the way to the concert with the album that you wanted to see. So I totally understand why they're doing this. Now, this is the part where we also realize that Natalie is supposed to meet them there, and Marissa says
being Oliver's girlfriend.
So Marissa says she has still never met Natalie, and Ryan thinks that this is weird. And he starts to kind of, like plant that seed in her mind that something's kind of off with Oliver and it doesn't make sense, but she is completely oblivious to the fact that anything could be wrong with their entire relationship.
Look, me and Ryan, same fucking page on this guy.
Okay.
Something's going on with this thing, this Natalie situation, and there's going to be another wrinkle in the Natalie situation.
If I had not said to you that there is going to be something and that I hated this Oliver guy, would you still be on Ryan's side, or would you think he's being crazy?
At this point, I would still think there's something going on.
Okay. Just wondering.
And I'll tell you why here in a minute. We're going to get there once we get to the actual concert.
Okay, so not only is Ryan hanging out with Marissa, but in order for Sandy to feel comfortable with Seth and Ryan going to the concert, Sandy wants to listen to the band before.
So Sandy's listening to some Rooney.
Yeah, and Sandy loves him
Rooney.
some Rooney.
You know why I say Rooney?
Why?
Because it's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's what it is.
Rooney.
Rooney.
Okay, that's fine. So Sandy's head bopping, and he almost finds the beat with his knee, and that's when Seth turns it off.
Got it. You almost found the beat. Get out of here.
Because that's at the point where Sandy loses it at the other, what was it? Bar mitzvah? Yeah.
It was
Anyways.
the YMCA song.
Yeah. So Sandy has a heart-to-heart with his son. And I appreciate this because there are a couple times where Sandy really tries to help him with some girl advice.
Yeah.
And this is another one of those.
Well, I think you and I have talked about how Sandy and Ryan get a lot of father-son moments.
They do.
Because that's kind of one of the linchpins of the show is that Sandy extended this fatherly kindness to Ryan, and that's why he's here in their lives now. But one of the things we had been missing was Seth and Sandy father-son moments, because they are actually father and son.
Yeah.
And we always saw that as Sandy like having difficulty connecting
Yeah.
to his son in certain ways. But they're on a television show now, and in the past 15 episodes, their relationship dynamic has entirely changed because Seth has gone from this shut-in who never leaves the house to part of a really popular group of kids with two women that are going after him that he's having to pick from, and he's having to...
And Sandy's like, finally, my son is
like,
with people.
All it took
Yes.
was someone to write a show about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. This is a really good moment where he's offering him some genuine advice. Like, it's kind of the same advice that was coming from Ryan, but from a fatherly figure, it means a little bit more. It's
Yeah.
like, you've got to tell her. And he promises to, but he also says like, yeah, I'll tell her Monday. Just he's punning it even further than he did when he told Ryan he was going to tell her.
Yeah. So they all end up going to the concert. Anna, Seth, Marissa, Ryan, Luke. And they show up at the entrance, the person who has the list, the list.
Yeah.
And they say that they're here with Oliver Trask. And at that point, they don't know anyone by the name of Oliver Trask.
This is
Scott.
This is the
what's up
second
with that?
time in as many episodes where someone has said Oliver and someone else has gone, who? Last week it was Anna, who's now in the group. So I guess we just kind of ignored. I don't know. This week it is now this bouncer lady, and this is really weird. And this is really weird in one of those storytelling, they're drawing attention to it moments, right? Because basically what happens is they go try to get in. He's not on the list, never heard of him. They leave, right? They're like,
Yeah, they're
this
going.
sucks. Oliver's a no-show. We're going home. And then Oliver says, oh, I didn't say the back door?
Yeah, because he comes walking out of the back
Right.
entrance.
And so the only way that this part of the show matters at all is if it's significant to some mysterious thing going on, right? Because they're not just going to like do this whole extra 2-minute beat where they go to the front and then get turned away and then go to the back if it's not going to pay off in any kind of way. So yes, 100% something is going on here. I at this point I don't know what it is, because I don't know why it would matter that he's not on a list but can still get people in through the back.
Unless he was on the list under somebody else's name.
True. But
Like a friend or someone else brought him.
yeah, I mean, there's something going on here. There's something going on here.
Yeah.
but
So, one thing that we missed is Summer ends up crashing the group. She was invited to, I guess. I don't know.
Who invited Summer? Like I
Marissa,
knew,
I guess.
knew this. It had to have been Marissa. I knew this was going to happen because Summer,
Because it's the show.
Because
Yeah.
Anna and Seth are all happy about a night away from having to deal with the Summer situation, and then Summer shows up. We didn't talk about the clothes everyone's wearing, Elise.
Total concert clothes.
Yeah, like Marissa has got like crimped hair. She's wearing like a
Midriff cut
She's
shirt
wearing a midriff cut
with a
black
band.
rock T-shirt. Summer
Definitely a concert shirt.
Summer comes in with like her hair.
The rocker poof high
like-
ponytail.
Yeah. See, I just let you explain this. I don't know why
Yeah.
I'm trying to at least explain what else Summer is wearing.
I don't know, a choker? dark eyeliner.
I just handed it off to you, and you failed me.
Well, I wasn't
immediately.
paying attention to what she was wearing other than her hair.
Yeah, I mean, me too. But I was hoping that you.
Yeah, no.
The only one that's really not dressed for a concert is Anna. I don't think Anna's wearing anything rockerly.
Her hair makes her edgy enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, as they're walking in the back door with Oliver, that's when we find out that Natalie isn't there because long distance relationships, Scott, they are hard.
Okay. Time
and
out. Long distance relationships.
Yeah.
What's going on here, Elise?
I don't know, Scott. I can't tell you anything about anything.
So, here is where I'm confused.
Okay. Why are you confused?
Natalie's a no-show again.
Uh-huh.
And when asked why Natalie's a no-show again, Oliver's excuse is, oh, we had a fight, long-distance relationships. And I'm like, what does that mean?
They're hard, Scott.
Is she here? If it's a long-distance relationship, where is she? Because if she's not coming to the concert because she doesn't live in Newport, that makes sense. But, like, I don't understand. Like, was she coming and then decided not to at the last minute and like just burned a plane ticket? Is she in town but decided not to come to the concert? I'm so confused. None of this makes any sense. It's so and I'm kind of annoyed that nobody else in the show is like wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. What do you mean is she here? Is she not where is she?
I don't know, Scott. I can't tell you anything about Natalie.
I'm not actually asking you. I'm
You're just
voicing
venting.
my frustration at the
that.
show.
Way to go.
He's
vent
a liar.
away.
He's a liar. Of course,
fine.
I would still at this point be utterly convinced that Natalie doesn't exist. But now, because Oliver has creeped me out so much, I think it's something much more sinister.
I don't know. So the little group of kiddos that's hanging out, we have another group of people that are hanging out. Haley and Jimmy.
Kiddos is a word that Elise uses because she's a teacher, and it's always funny to me, no matter how often.
Why?
The little kiddos.
The kiddos.
Yep.
Well, really, you're supposed to call people friends. At
The
school.
children?
Yes.
That's
you say
weird.
friends.
They're not your.
You say, okay, friends, let's line up.
They're not your friends.
That's what we're supposed to call
They're not
them.
your friends.
It's a love and logic thing.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. Anyways, so Haley and Jimmy are hanging out the house, and they crashed the night that Sadie and Kirsten had planned because Haley found out that there's a Golden Girls marathon, and Haley loved watching Golden Girls when she was little, and so they decided to stay in order to watch that.
What does it do with Golden Girls in this episode? I
Scott,
swear, someone in the writers'
it's a classic.
Someone in the writers' room must have seen Golden Girls over the weekend,
And they thought it was going to be
then they're
hilarious,
like, I'm writing
and
this
so they
into the
totally,
show.
yeah.
There's 4 times on this episode that Golden Girls is
Yeah,
referenced.
it's true. Okay, so cut back to everyone
best
is hanging
part.
out backstage. Yes, this is the best part. Okay, so everyone is finding their little group who they should hang out with and talk to backstage. And then Luke is talking to Oliver, and Luke sees his guitar. And Luke goes on and on about how awesome this guitar is. And so Oliver's like, well, yeah, man, you should just play. So Luke is like, yeah, I mean, I've been working with some songs here. and then Luke starts to play. And at this point, the rest of the show is over. And it is now the Luke show. And the OC is not any more of the OC. We don't care what episodes are going to go on from here. We just want Luke and more of Luke.
Let's just say there's a reason why Luke is the one that welcomed us to the OC, bitch.
Yeah.
Because it's his Orange County.
It is now. And we're all just living for
He starts
it.
strumming the guitar and playing the song that he wrote. And it
Rosa.
it is wonderful.
You recorded it, didn't you?
Huh?
Did you go back and record it?
No, I have it. I found it on YouTube.
Oh,
And
okay.
I kind of want to splice it in here. I might do that if I have
Okay.
time.
Hey, check it out. Seriously? Yeah. Awesome. I just got a few songs that I wrote. The first time I saw your eyes, I knew we'd get it on. Yeah, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. You, Rosa.
But what he does,
Rosa.
he's singing the song, and then the show cuts away from him.
Yeah.
And
But you still hear it.
There's this long conversation between Anna and Seth. And it's this really intense conversation because they're arguing about telling Summer back and forth. And in the background, the entire time, you hear Luke like going nuts on this guitar.
Strum, 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 strum. And he has his leg up, and he's just, he is feeling the music.
Funny.
You know?
It is so funny.
There's that movie about a boy where it talks about when you close your eyes and you really feel the music, and you don't want to be one of those people that closes their eyes to listen to the music because that means that you're that person. Luke is that person.
Luke is that person.
Luke is that person to 100%. Luke is a person who later in the show you hate during the concert because you go to the concert in order to hear the band and not the people singing the song next to you. Luke is that person.
Yeah.
And I love that Luke is that person.
Yeah. And
anyways,
he's wonderful. He's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. So I've lost where we are just because I was so in love with Luke. Okay. Yeah.
We're back
so
with the adults.
Seth is saying that he's going to go tell Summer tonight to Anna, and everyone knows that's not really going to happen. So at that moment, Oliver walks out of the backstage area in order to make a phone call. And this is the part where another clue that Oliver's up to some shady business, because this phone call that he makes is to some guy who we do not know. And it says that he needs to get here quick and he needs to bring the good stuff. He doesn't care who comes. He just needs him to bring the good stuff. Now, Scott, when you hear that, what do you think that means
I think,
in television world?
Drugs immediately.
Okay, you think drugs.
Yeah,
okay,
100%.
So it's not like the day
Has
and age
anyone
where
in
it's
the-
like, hey, favor, I need you to bring me some flowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I do when I call Uber Eats.
I need you to bring me the roses, the good stuff.
Hey, I need those fucking chicken nuggets, and you better bring me the good stuff.
I don't need anything from Wendy's. I'm talking Chick-fil-A.
You better bring me 6 packets of that Chick-fil-A sauce.
And
The good stuff.
Yeah, if you don't give me that Chick-fil-A sauce, well, there's going to be hell to pay.
Give me that good stuff, and then when you're done, also bring some cocaine.
Oh, maybe that's what he wants.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's like
Okay.
100% drugs. Yeah.
So, adult game night.
Adult game night.
Adult game night. Haley's insulting Kirsten over and over and over. Every single chance that she can get, it's a dig at Kirsten and her life.
Yeah.
And I get frustrated with it, and Sandy gets frustrated with it.
It is like bullshit, Haley.
It is.
It's like, I don't. Kirsten kind of gets mad at Sandy for finally breaking and snapping at her, but like someone should have, because it's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
you've been living at their house, you're staying there, you're eating all their food, and you're insulting their way of life, and it's just like, fuck you.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So Sandy breaks, and he just calls her out.
And you know what my favorite part of this show continues to be? Sandy
What?
sets people straight. Part of show is the
Okay.
best part of the show. He just like karate chops them with logic, and they're just like, "Oh, Sandy."
Now, here's the deal,
you're such
though.
a good lawyer. Oh my god.
Okay.
Those eyebrows.
I understand
What?
that something needs to be said, but this is the second time where Kirsten's family, Sandy, just flips a switch and
True.
he goes off on her.
True.
And I really don't think that that's an appropriate way in order to navigate your in-laws. And, you know, I think that it's a conversation that Kirsten should have. And if I were Kirsten, I would get frustrated with this because you asked me to have the conversation. I was avoiding it, but I'm going to do it in my own time and it's going to happen. And so don't think that I can't have the conversation that we talked about and that needs to be had.
Totally. It's like when you tell me to do an errand or a chore around the house and I don't do it fast enough and then you just do it. It's like the same thing.
Okay, I did that once in the past month, okay?
But
I understand. I get it. I had explained to you the day that happened. We had a conversation about it. I thought we had moved forward.
folks, I just opened an old wound, and
But
I
evidently
feel immediately
not.
bad about it. I'm in trouble. We're gonna move on.
You better buy me the chocolate chip cookies tonight.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Anyways, so we are now at the Rooney concert, and Summer and Anna are in the bathroom. They're singing songs, and then all of a sudden, they walk out and they realize they're singing the "Thank You for Being a Friend."
Fucking Golden Girls again.
And one's Rose and one is Blanche, and they just bond over it, and they love it.
I would like to poll the audience.
Yeah.
Who here was 16-ish in 2003 and has watched an episode of Golden Girls? Have you ever watched an episode of Golden Girls, Elise? Ever?
No.
I have.
Oh.
Because I grew up before the internet.
Okay.
So we had Nick at Night.
Yeah.
But
Well, I guess it was on at Nick at Night.
I just find it very hard to believe that these two children would both like the Golden Girls. This is the point where the you know, there's always a suspension of disbelief in storytelling, right? I do not believe that two popular high school girls would both be obsessed with the Golden Girls.
Okay.
It's
That's
just
what you think.
And maybe that's unfair of me.
Maybe it
that's
is.
Unfair.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are back at the Coens household after the big, huge, incident that happened with Sandy blowing up at Haley. And so Haley leaves and she's out on the porch. And so Jimmy's following her out there and they're having this whole heart to heart. And then all of a sudden, Scott, Haley kisses Jimmy.
Uh-oh.
And this is going to be complicated because Jimmy babysat Haley when she was little.
Yeah.
10 years different.
I like when she's like, did you know I always had a crush on you? And his response is, well, you were 8 when I went to college.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
No.
Yeah. And it's just, and, he's kissed Kirsten recently. He used to date Kirsten. You'll find out a little bit more about their history later, which would even make this it's just awkward. Okay. It's just real awkward.
Jimmy Cooper.
Yeah.
And Caleb Nickel.
Yeah.
Have a lot in common.
They got similar tastes, don't they? Yeah.
They've both seen these 3 women naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy have?
Yeah.
We're assuming so.
Wait. No, that doesn't work.
No.
He probably hooked up with...
He has kissed all the women that Caleb has seen naked.
He's kissed all the women that Caleb has seen naked. That's what I was going for. Thank you. I was trying to construct a joke on the fly.
You're welcome.
And it didn't really work.
And you thought about it previous, and then you just remembered it wrong. It's fine. It happens to the best of us.
Well, it didn't help that your whole maybe he saw her naked thing just kind of threw me for a loop.
It's okay. It's okay.
If you think about
I understand
it long enough, it's all your fault.
Yeah, it's definitely not my fault, but that's fine.
The point is, he and Caleb have a lot in common now.
Yeah. They just swap spit practically.
Yeah. Constantly.
Okay, so we're back to the Rooney concert and
Caleb making out with his daughter.
We're just all sorts of messed up. Okay, so
God.
we're back at the concert. Marissa and Oliver are watching close to stage without Ryan. So he goes over to tell her, and Oliver keeps interrupting whenever Ryan wants to talk. Did you pick up on that?
Oh, I did.
I thought you'd pick up on that.
Yeah, did Ryan walk in and say, hey, and then Oliver goes, hey, how do you like this concert? Fuck you, Oliver.
Yeah. So Marissa says her and Oliver can talk about things. They leave and they're having this side conversation.
Well, he pulls her off and just starts making out with her.
Yeah, because he's upset, and that's how you deal with frustration.
And he's like, "This is more fun, right?" And she's like, "No, I want to listen to the concert."
Yeah.
But yeah, then and Ryan's response is, "Oh, you can't talk to me about things?" And she goes, "No, it's different." Is it though? Is it different?
But she tells Ryan he can go.
And he does.
Yeah.
These characters keep playing stupid chicken with each other, where they're just like, well, if you didn't want to be here, you can just leave. And then he says, oh,
fine. Okay.
Fine.
I'll go.
I'm going to do it.
Okay. Okay. So Luke is the annoying concert goer, and we already touched on this. I just love it.
He's just singing.
I just love it. He's just standing next to Seth.
He's just screaming the song, and Seth gives the old, hey, who sings this song joke? Where he's supposed to be like, oh, maybe you should just let them do it. Yeah. And he goes, hey, Luke, who sings the song? And Luke's just like, Run!
I love it.
It's so great.
Living for it. Yes. Okay. So as Ryan walks out, he sees that Oliver is over by a fence and he's fighting. And Ryan goes in order to try and punch that guy because, let's stand up for Oliver.
So much for New Year's resolution.
And then
Ryan.
we find out that, no, you shouldn't do that because this is an undercover cop. And this guy, Oliver, was trying to buy 3 pounds of Coke from him.
It was definitely not pounds. 3 pounds of Coke.
That's what I thought he said.
So much Coke.
I know. I was surprised, but I thought that's what he was going to say.
That would be so much cocaine.
It's a lot. I know.
Oh my God.
Did you go back and I thought he said 3 pounds.
There's no way it was pounds.
We're going to figure this out. Okay. So then Ryan comes back in and gets the bartender's attention ASAP after Seth had been trying so hard. And they have a quick little convo before Ryan gets the keys and he leaves.
Mm-hmm. He's decided he's going to go help Oliver because Ryan is a decent guy. Let's talk about this bartender sitch.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
He's ordering Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Well, Scott, it's Seth. He can't drink alcohol.
I know, but maybe that's why the bartender is ignoring you because he knows you're about to order 3 Mountain Dews.
And he knows that you look like you're underage. And Ryan just looks like the kind of guy that would have an idea and would actually spend money.
So the implication of this is that Seth misses the entire concert because he's waiting at the bar to get Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Do the do, babe.
Why
do
would you want to do the do that bad?
I don't know.
Just listen to the concert and get to water afterwards.
That was another thing I should have put on that. So 2000s, but I didn't. Mountain Dew. Oh, yeah. People loved Mountain Dew then.
Surge.
Surge was a good one, too.
That was 90s.
Okay.
That was not 2000s.
So Sandy and Kirsten are a little upset at each other about the conversation with Haley and how that went. Kirsten's pretty much upset for the same reason that I aired earlier, and Sandy is just upset that Kirsten hadn't had the conversation. And they both realize that, you know what, it probably didn't go the best way, but
maybe it'll be good.
Maybe it'll be good.
And then they bang.
Yeah. So Seth walks over to Anna with the Mountain Dew and asks how the conversation went with Summer, because Anna was supposed to have the conversation after Seth couldn't have the conversation. And neither of them had ended up saying anything, but Summer walks up and asks about what conversation. And then they have a conversation.
And then they finally have the conversation. But here's how I love this. Yeah. So the conversation is done backstage.
Yeah.
She's
sitting down on the couch.
Anna and Seth are standing up. Summer is sitting down in a chair. She is eating cold cuts. No. She's eating
something that was backstage. I don't remember.
She's eating.
I wasn't paying attention.
I think it's a carrot. She's eating a carrot.
Okay.
It's I was trying to make a joke about last week's episode, but
okay. I didn't know.
She's eating a carrot, and she's like, I'm fine. So you picked her? It's like, no, well, yes. And Summer seems absolutely fine. She seems totally fine with it. Yeah. Of course we can all hang out. Let's go hang out right now. It's going to be great.
And she has that little like glimmer behind her eye of like, oh, yeah, we can all be friends.
She's plotting.
Sure.
And we see that by the end of the episode that she's one, not okay with this. Two, definitely getting her plot on.
Yeah. So, Ryan calls Sandy to come and get Oliver out of jail because Sandy's the go-to get your kids out of jail free card. Mm-hmm. And Sandy does get him out and can't believe that Oliver's parents would leave him alone.
Yeah.
How would someone do that? Oliver thanks Ryan for getting him out of jail.
You're laying breadcrumbs for me here.
Oliver,
not very subtly.
Oliver thanks
How
Ryan.
Can he just do that.
Oliver thanks Ryan for getting him out of jail and wants to know why he did it, which is a good question because Oliver knows I'm trying to get your girlfriend. Ryan, why are you going to help me?
Yeah, because he's a fucking good guy to a fault. That's Ryan's problem, especially when it comes to Marissa. He will do anything and everything for her that she wants, including help out the guy that he can't stand. And so he does that for him. Hooray.
So Oliver said he wanted to buy the Coke because he is no one, and Ryan takes pity on him and seems to think about welcoming him into the group. Like you can see the fact that he's
he's like
thinking,
Seth, you and Seth have the same taste in music. Luke likes everybody right now. So he's saying like he has a group, he has these groups of friends. He doesn't feel like he has anyone. He has these people, and I will try to get to know you.
So we are now going to cut to Sandy after a hard-earned bagel. He needs that midnight snack. So he goes to make that midnight bagel, and Haley walks in.
Look,
She wants the bagel.
I love bagels. Eating a bagel at midnight?
Yeah.
That's a bad idea. That's a lot of calories. That's
not
a
for
lot
Sandy.
of carbs before you go to bed.
No, not for Sandy.
But I will say, he smothers that thing in
he's got good schmear technique.
It looks good.
It's good. He has
that
great
bagel made
schmear.
Me hungry.
Yeah.
Where is the bagel guillotine, though? He cuts it with a normal knife, like a chump.
Don't worry about it. It'll be back.
Okay, good.
So they have a heart-to-heart, and they seem to forgive each other. And Sandy encourages Haley to get a job and settle down. Sandy gives Haley half the bagel.
Mm-hmm. And that's
important.
That is the proverbial olive branch, the sharing of the bagel in the Cohen household.
Yeah.
They are bonded for life now.
They are. And someone else who's bonded for life, Marissa and Ryan. Wowza.
They're going at it in the pool house.
They are. Makeout session. And then Seth, Summer, and Anna all come in, and Luke to crash.
And Luke, who stood too close to the.
So he's yelling.
He stood too close to the speaker at the concert, so his ears aren't working. So he's screaming at the top of his lungs. That concert was awesome! You guys want to go spice the PS2?
It's perfect. So they all go and they play video games. Ryan and Marissa decide to go inside.
But they're still just making out with each
They are
other.
still just making out on the chair. Summer decides to sit in between Seth and Anna because she's so glad we can all hang out, right?
Yeah. And that's the revelation that she is plotting something here. Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So they're all having a great time hanging
it's a perfect
out.
happy
They're just
ending.
really doing it fun things. And then, Scott, I'm going to let you take this away.
In the background, the camera pulls out further and further away from our group, and then standing there in the cold night air, it's probably not cold, it's Southern California, but let's pretend it's cold, as lightning strikes, Oliver.
There was no lightning, but yes, there was Oliver.
There was in my mind. Oliver is standing there, looking at them on the outside, looking in, and he looks mad. Here's
how did he know where they lived?
How did he know?
Creepy man follows from the jail.
So the most charitable interpretation of this is Marissa told him where she used to live, because she doesn't live at that house now. She doesn't live with her mother. She lives with her father currently. Marissa, in passing, told Oliver where she used to live, and also that where she met Ryan was they used to be neighbors, and that's how he knew. That's the most
creepy
charitable interpretation of that. The least charitable interpretation is creepy stalker man following people.
And he did.
Creepy
I'm sure that's what happened.
Yeah. So
and then it's end.
It's good. Done. It's good to feel like your hatred of a character is
warranted,
is vindicated and warranted because he's creepy and he's plotting things. Mm-hmm. I mean, he might as well like stood there with like a gun or something. That's how creepy it was. It was basically the same thing.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty creepy. Okay, Scott. So now we're going to move on to that. So 2000s. It's a new year in the 2000s. 2000.
That's so 2004.
Yeah. So we have 4 things for this episode then that are so 2000s. First is slide-on sandals, because Luke definitely rocked those Adidas slip-ons.
Luke's got those Adidas slip-on sandals that were all the rage.
All the rage. Okay. So next up is Rooney, big band in the 2000s.
It was. Did you like Rooney?
I loved Rooney.
I loved Rooney too.
Yeah.
I
liked him a lot.
That was my
I
shit.
told you that the lead singer was in The Princess Diaries, and you were shocked by that. But it's true.
Yeah, shocked was the word I was.
Yeah, shocked.
Shocked. Couldn't believe it. It changed my life.
It did.
To know that the lead singer of Rooney was a minor role in The Princess Diaries. Yeah. I will never be the same.
And that's why he wasn't in the sequel, is because the band took off and he didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, he had to be on
tour.
DMC.
Scott, I'm serious.
What?
That's the reason he couldn't be in the second one.
I'm not calling it into question.
Anyways, third up is TiVo, because Scott definitely doesn't want to talk about Rooney anymore.
Boop, boop, bloop, boop, boop, boop.
And
TiVo is kind
fourth.
of a Luke noise. I just realized that. Do we do that on purpose?
No. Fourth up is crimped hair. Like Marissa rocked her crimped hair at the concert.
Isn't crimped hair timeless though?
Isn't it? It is.
Isn't it?
So timeless, Scott. You're right. Okay, so
what are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick slide-on sandals.
Yeah, slide-on sandals is the right answer.
Followed by crimped hair.
Slide-on sandals is so distinctly early 2000s. Like all the popular guys wore those Adidas slide-on sandals. I unfortunately just didn't feel popular enough. I couldn't do it.
It's a bummer for you.
Pull it off.
Bummer for you.
I don't think they look good.
I love them.
I remember thinking they looked better, and then I saw Luke standing there outside wearing pants with these slide-on Adidas.
I mean, you don't wear them with pants.
Well, he was wearing
that's a
it
given.
with
I know he's wearing it with pants, but you shouldn't wear them with pants.
All right.
Okay, Scott, we have quite a few new relationships that we're going to add here, so we need to break it down, Scott. We're going to break it down with relationship status this week. Are you ready?
I am ready. Just go.
Okay, first up, we have Coop and Ryan. Last week, Scott, Coop and Ryan were an 8 out of 10. They made the relationship official and are now one of those couples. We all know that those couples always have trouble in the TV relationship world, but conflict brings ratings, Scott. And conflict this week is with Oliver, and it doesn't seem to damage their relationship too bad, other than make Ryan a little jealous. This week, they were made an 8 out of 10.
See, I would have bumped them down there.
You would have bumped it down.
Interesting decision. I would have bumped them down there.
They had that strong make out, though, at the end of the episode.
They did, but there's an Oliver-shaped cloud on the horizon.
There is, but he hasn't had too much damage yet.
Yeah, but just the implication.
I know. Once he actually does something to like have that wedge go in between them, then we'll start knocking them down. But so far, they're still making out strong at the end.
Let's move on.
So Scott, tell me about Seth and Summer, your favorite relationship
America's
here.
Favorite couple.
Definitely
Seth
Scott's favorite.
Summer. Last week, we gave him a 3 out of 10.
Okay.
This week, Seth is avoiding the conversation he needs to have with Summer about his relationship with Hannah.
Important.
Is that because he feels guilty that he finally chose, or because he really would have chosen Summer and doesn't want to eventually damage the possibility that he might have with her? Interesting
point, isn't it, Scott? What would you rate them this week?
We're going to lower them to a 2 out of 10. And you know
2
what?
out of
I'm
10.
not happy with it. And the 2, I am living in the hope of my 2, and that 2 will flip itself around.
You want it bigger.
Become a 7 with a little loop.
I see how you're trying to make that. Okay, yeah. But we're going to move on to Seth and Anna. Last week, Seth and Anna were at a 7 out of 10. This week, Seth and Anna are dating under the radar. They are studying together in the library, playing back and forth with each other like a little flirty middle school couple, and are trying to go on their first date this week. Scott, they eventually tell Summer that they are dating this episode, so they are an out in the open couple, Scott. So we're going to raise them up one more point. This week, they are at an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about Sandy and Kirsten this week, Scott?
Last week, we gave Sandy and Kirsten a 9 out of 10. They were the
right.
couple of the week last week. Will they retain that crown? Sandy seems to take issue with everyone in the Cohen household, and this episode highlights the drama between their relationship with his sister-in-law. Kirsten and Sandy are excited to finally spend some one-on-one time together, but it is crashed when Haley and Jimmy join for the evening. Sandy goes off on Haley, and Kirsten gets upset, but eventually forgives her husband. And you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm leaving it.
You're going to leave it 9 out of 10.
Haley could be a crisis point going forward, but I'm not as
potential
confident.
Oliver situation here.
Nothing is as much potential as Oliver.
Okay.
I'm going to leave this at a 9 out of 10 and couple of the week.
Okay. We're moving on to Julie Cooper and Caleb Nickel. Last week they were an 8 out of 10. I guess they are still good. No news is good news when you consider the two subjects in this relationship. We're going to keep them at an 8 out of 10, Scott.
It's interesting that as much as Julie Cooper was interested in making sure her daughter was okay and safe and happy, she's missed the holidays and is still nowhere to be found.
It's okay.
Where
she is enjoying her time with Caleb.
Julie Cooper.
I think we'll find out soon enough. Scott, how our newest couple, we have 2 couples that we're adding this week, Scott. What is the first couple that we're adding?
The first couple that we are adding is Haley Nickel and Jimmy Cooper. The newest couple on the block is the old babysitter babysat game. Jimmy and Haley bonded over their failed attempts to fit into the Newport society and shared a little kiss, on the Cohen's front
What are we going to rate them?
We're gonna add them and stick them right in the middle out of 5 out of 10.
All right, Scott, that seems fair enough. And we have one more relationship, Scott, that we're going to add this week. This week we are adding Oliver and Natalie. 0 out of 10.
Yeah. Oliver and Natalie.
Nope, they don't get any conversation. It's just 0 out of 10. Nothing about them. No information about them. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
Yep. So, Scott, what do you predict? What do you think is going to happen next week?
I predict Natalie is a ghost. I don't know how much longer we're going to carry on this Oliver stuff for. I feel like it's coming to a head, so I feel like maybe next episode we're going to learn something new. Obviously, we're going to see Summer start to do some work on this, on breaking apart this relationship.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have a good handle on where the show is going from here.
All right. Well, Scott, that's all that we have time for this week. So next week we're going to be talking about episode 16, The Links.
The Links.
Yep.
Like golf?
I don't know, Scott. We'll have to see. So if you like this podcast, you can check out all the other shows that we do over at doofmedia.com. Also consider donating to our Patreon, patreon.com/doofmedia.
You're wrong, and you know you're wrong, and that's what upsets people.
Scott?
Huh?
I'm just going to live it. I'm going to own it. I'm going to live it. But as they are thinking about donating, what would that money go to support? What other shows?
It would support this show. Mm-hmm. It would support We've Got Ward.
Okay.
Do the Right Thing. Mm-hmm. Media MD, Deep Impact, the Doofcast, the book club that we just recorded last night for the final book in the Mistborn trilogy. It supports everything we do here. It supports fun, like hosting the websites, paying for the equipment, allowing us to see the things. It's everything. And the guys that you all that are helping us, it means the world to us. Thank you so much. And you get a cool bunch. You get a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah, you do.
I'm really discombobulated at the end of this.
It's okay.
Episode.
I know.
I don't know why. I'm all over.
It's okay. So if you happen to be listening via Apple Podcasts, why don't you go over there and drop us a rating and review? We'd really appreciate it. Make sure you click those 5 stars and write something wonderful about how much you love me. Thank you.
What about me?
And Scott too.
Thank
and
you.
Penny. And
Penny.
Ghost. Except Ghost was
not this week.
Not this week. You can leave Ghost out this week.
All right, guys.
So.
We will see you next week for episode 16, The Links.
Bye-bye.